Alright folks, for this video we are going to go all the way up to northern Japan, up there in the prefecture of Iwate-ken. The head of that is Morioka, so if you see where my cursor up here, we are north of Sendai. So for reference, Tokyo's down here, and so you go up through Sendai and then into Iwate Prefecture up here in northern Japan. This whole area is called the Tohoku region. And we are going to explore the mine, the Tamagawa Mine in the city of Noda. Okay, so we'll zoom in here. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because even though there is a website here, and I'll put that up in the put that down in the description. It's all in Japanese, and if you, unless you're a Japanese person and you've explored it, or can read Japanese, you're just not going to find it. It's just it's owned by a jewelry company. They still pull jewelry grade marine rose and marine rose quartz out of here for jewelry making, and they've opened it up to the tourists, but there really isn't any English availability. You can't find it. You have to speak Japanese. So I did this video. So if you're up in that region, in this region, you can come take a look. So here it is, the Marine Rose Park Mine at the city of Noda, and it's the Tamagawa Mine. So don't be scared by this water treatment plant. It's not a septic sewage. It's treating river water for drinking water. Okay. So here's that. You see over here in this tunnel that goes into the mountain from the top that looks like this, and it goes into this mine here, and you're right off the beach right here. Okay, so that's where we are. This is 45 if you're looking for that, and I'll put a link in the description. But let's go ahead and take a look at this mine. I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right, folks, good afternoon. We are here in northern Japan, up in the Tohoku region. We are in the small little village of Noda, and we're going to do a walkthrough of this old mine. It's an old manganese mine up here in northern Japan. I think you'll really like it. It's kind of cool. Brought the family out. It's in the middle of winter, so there's not quite as many people, as in we're the only ones here. But this is a great place for family. You can bring a stroller. We're just going to do a walkthrough of the place. But if you're ever up here in northern Japan, go ahead and come and see this place. It's an awesome place. I think you'll like it. All right, like I said, we are here at the Noda Tamagawa Mine. It is it's a huge mine here in the Iwate Prefecture up here in northern Japan. It is a little bit windy, and there are announcements going on, so hopefully you can hear me all right. But we're going to do a quick walkthrough of this. Now this mine was active about 25 years ago and before, and it is an old manganese mine. You can see this description here. Was in operation to 1985, and they mined manganese here. Okay. From what I can tell, and the announcements in here, there are still quite a bit of manganese deposits in here, but they eventually went to there's some marine rose. It's kind of we'll look at some of that, but basically it's a jewelry grade rocks that they were pulling out of here, and we'll look at some of that. But this is just going to do a quick walkthrough. It's super cool. Okay. Again, if you have a stroller, if you're bringing your family through here, it is very, very easy. We just brought the stroller through and had absolutely no problems. Now, if you're coming through here and you don't read Japanese, most of the signs are in Japanese. Okay, the visitor center up there has some brochures in English. Okay, so grab those and you can read up on it, but most of it's in Japanese. If you're using Google Translate on your phone, then it works pretty good. Okay, this is actually a really large mine. There's something like 28 kilometers of tunnels back in here. One of the cool things is as we go back in here, they have these mangan boys, these little statues, I forget the name obviously, but mangan boys. They little models of miners that show you how they used to mine back in the day. Okay. Now again, this is more than enough room. There's lots of headroom. Come down in here, and There's a little bit of a steep spot here at first, but it's more than enough room and safe for a stroller, so you can just come on down in here. No problem. Mannequins, that was the name I was looking for. So the Mangan boys, bunch of mannequins throughout this whole mine. And as you go through here, the areas that you're allowed to go is roped off, but there's all these little side tunnels going all over the place. Let's see if we can show you back in there. There we go. So really, really cool. And again, sorry I'm talking over the announcement system here. It's a constant narration, so I have to talk over it. We just came in through here with our 6 kids, and they just absolutely loved it. You can see here on the ground there's the remains of the old railroad. Okay. Now, from what I can tell, there's a couple little museum rooms up here, and they'll show you a model of this whole mine. But there's something like 8 levels, and we're just on, we're not at the very top level, but we entered the mountain at like the 2nd or 3rd level down, but then there's another 6 levels down. And my kids are still in absolute love with Minecraft, so they're all excited about running home and playing their Minecraft game. But as you can see, there's a little bit of water off to the sides and a couple places where the water drips down, but this is a very, very easy walk. Okay. Got a little pool here, and evidently, my wife interpreted this for me, but the water here has some really good minerals in it. So if you're, I guess specifically for diabetes, so the water coming out of this mountain has some really good qualities for people with diabetes. I don't quite know what those are, but there it is. And then here's your water, a little collection of flowers here. Move around here. And there's, like any good tourist spot, there's all these displays. These are showing some of the ways that they reinforce the roof for the miners. Don't really need my flashlight here. And then there's a couple spots where I guess the rocks are a little loose, so they have these this netting up here, keep you from any rocks falling down on you. But we'll just keep moving on through here. It's not too bad. Now it is about 10 degrees Celsius in here, so it is warmer in here than it is outside. We're here in the heart of the Northern Japan winter, so it's pretty cold outside. You saw the snow, but it's a little bit warm in here, but it's still not sweltering or anything, so throw a coat on. Here's one of many different displays of the miners here. They have a little little mining train, whatever, one of their little mannequin mangan boys. Okay, little rail carts. So if your kids are into mining or Minecraft or anything, and have a little drag line up there. So super cool. And then everywhere you look, you have these little side passageways where they have little displays, mining equipment, how they used to do things. Now, evidently, there's still quite a bit of good ore in here. So I guess the easy stuff was taken out. So once prices, get to such that it makes it profitable to break this up and start mining manganese again, there's enough in here to make it worthwhile once the prices go up. But right now, it's just kind of hanging out. The easy stuff has been gotten. And open it up to tourists. Now, evidently, back in 1985, when they were still using it as an actual mine, they still had these upper levels open to tourism. So they have people coming back in here and exploring things. Like I said, if you ever get yourself up here to the Tohoku region. This definitely should be one of the stops. Well, there is a slight smell of sulfur back in here, but it's not too strong at all. Here's some more of those mannequin displays. Couple miners working on the reinforcements, ceiling reinforcements there, using creosoted timbers. Okay. Almost went by here. Another miner back in there, swinging a hammer. So pretty cool. Now, here's a little display. It's got a little bit of some mining equipment here. It shows some mines around Japan, and then some drill bits, some reamers, stuff like that. Railroad rail. But here's where they're pulling out of it now, or recently, this rhodonite. They polish that up, make it into jewelry of various types: tephroite, pyrochromite, and hausmanite. Basically the same chemical, or the same mineral, but just different levels of how much it's been exposed to heat and pressure makes the difference on what it is. Another little mannequin display of some miners filtering out the rocks. And again, sorry that I have to talk over the narration. All right, here we have a little line where the ore is bounced along, and then workers would, these are mannequin workers, would pick out the good ore, the good specimens. A little thing they do is every year they change these mannequins up, change their positions, and they take a vote on which mannequin is people's favorites. So if you do speak Japanese, or read Japanese, you can come in here and read their little signs that are on them, and it tells a little bit about the story of that particular mannequin miner, and make your vote. Now, somebody who's done a bit of gold digging and mining and gold panning there in Alaska, this was interesting. This is a trommel, okay, exactly like they use for gold mining. They put the ore in on this side. This trommel rotates, and then all the dust and sand and little stuff falls out, and then what comes out this side is just the specimens, the bigger specimens for the pickers to pick through and look for the better specimens. So I thought that was kind of cool. I've ran a couple gold trommels there in Alaska, and it looked very similar. All right, up here on the right, we have a little little tea room, so the workers could stop here and rest from their work, from their labor. Okay, I thought that was pretty cool. And this is actually the original rest area. Okay. Up here on the left is actually really cool. They have I believe it's called an omikuji, basically a wishing well. This is some mine water here, and they've got this little, I think it's Buddhist, statue in it, so you can, throw your coins in. See some coins there in the bottom. And, if you track any of the dangerous professions, mining certainly is one of them, you'll find a level of superstition amongst the workers for keeping them safe. So in Japan, that means you'll find some shrines and some these omikujis, if you will. Okay. Now I do want to leave something to surprise, so I don't want to go through the entire place. Okay. Now this is kind of cool. This is a big vein back in here, a big vein of the manganese. And you have the steel reinforcement. Now this is a little bit older, so it's rusted, but that's steel reinforcing. You come in here and you can look up. This goes 80 meters up. Let's see if I can see that with my... it's going to be difficult. Let's do it that way. So you can come up here, and that's a seam, a manganese seam that goes 80 meters up. So that's kind of a cool thing to see. Since it goes so far up, they put extra reinforcements on the ceiling. go a little bit further here. Okay. This is just a remarkable, one of the things they do here, and here on the left is an example, throughout this mine, is since it is a constant 10 degrees Celsius temperature, they lease out space to local wineries, and you can't really see that, but that says wine house. And so they lease out space down here for people to store their wine. Okay? So that's kind of cool. There's little wine storage pods everywhere throughout here. Thought that was pretty cool. A couple more spots here. Now, when you do come back in here, there are some preserved old stuff, including some old mine bathrooms, but there are no bathrooms here in the mine. So make sure you use the restroom at the front before you bring your kids in, because there's not going to be any any restrooms in here. Okay. And here's the end of the publicly available space. And this is a little display of different mining techniques and how they drilled. Now they use drills, they use jackhammers, and they also use dynamite to mine in here. And this little room has a bunch of these mangan boys drilling holes for dynamite. And they show different drilling rigs and mechanisms. So that's kind of cool. And here's a very, very small little drill. This guy's drilling into the side of the wall. Drill it in, 3-4 feet. Pack it full of dynamite and blow it, and then collect up all the rocks that gets blown free. And here at the back, and this will be the end of the publicly available area, is this little museum. And it's super cool. And I'll walk by everything, but I wanted to direct your attention here to this display. And sorry for the flashing. It's not actually flashing in real life. It's just because of the frequency difference there. But this is a display of the entire mine. Okay, each one of these lines here represents another level, and then you can come up here and you look at the difference of how deep this mine is. And this, having a hard time really showing. It's a 3-dimensional view of the mine. Okay, so really cool there. Check that out. Okay, up here you got some more wine storage. Okay. And then they start getting into some specimens. Some of the specimens they've pulled out of here. Some of them they are from a long ways away. What I thought was really cool is here is I have no idea how real these are, but there are some examples of dynamite. That's a cheatamite. And they got some dynamite here, some squibs. Use some shotgun shells to launch it off. Some ANFO fertilizer explosive, basically, and this is all mining samples, how they blew the rock. Okay, so super cool. The other thing I want to show you over here is the manganese is just manganese ore, but the actual jewelry rock. Here's an example. They left some of this in the. So this is the rhodonite. Okay, they'd pull that out, polish it up, make it into nice jewelry. So you can, if you come up here and visit, you can see some of this stuff just right in the rock. Okay. So I thought that was really cool as well. Okay. All right, and there's a lot more to see in here. Like I said, I don't want to put the whole thing in, but we'll go ahead and head back out now. We took the short loop. There's some longer loops in here if you want to check it out. But on the way out, there is an actually very impressive collection of geological specimens, minerals and crystals and quartz and And we'll walk through that real quick. I'm not going to stop and look at each one, but just give you like I said, it's actually a pretty impressive collection. Some of them look like they're quite valuable, actually. Nothing light enough that you're going to put in your pocket and walk out without being noticed, but it's still pretty cool. So we enjoyed our trip here. I would say dedicate an hour or two back in here, depending on if you have kids or not. It is a little bit windy in here. It's a mine, not a cave, so the runs are straight shots, so you do get a little bit of a wind effect. So here in the middle of the Northern Japan winter, the Tohoku winter, it's a little bit chilly back in here. That's all right, I got my coat on, so I'll be fine. Now, this is the exit. We're going to go all the way down, just a straight shot. Now, as you go down, they have these different geological notes. So, here's a fold. So it shows how the ground folded up. It has a fold, and then you can actually look. So if you're making this an educational field trip, this is absolutely perfect for young kids interested in earth science. They have a strike fault up here that they show. But here's the beginning of the actual rock specimens. This was, they have aquamarine here, tourmaline, okay, huge specimens. And then here on the right, and we'll just walk through. I'll stop and look at a couple of them here, some tourmaline, several examples of tourmaline. They have agates, all kinds of agates. Some of them are carved a little bit, okay, some of them not, some chalcedony. I butchered the pronunciation is because I'm not a geologist. Beautiful agate, beautiful example of an agate. Very large one. I mean, look at these. These are absolutely gorgeous. Okay. A lot of these specimens don't come from this mine, obviously. It's its own little earth science museum. But they put it back in here so you can kind of take a look as you exit. And again, for a field trip, for an educational stop, that's absolutely wonderful. My favorite here, they got some gold ore examples. There's a gold ore, 513 grams per ton. It doesn't sound like a lot. You have to get a lot of tons before you get much. Here's that strike fault here on the left that I was telling you about. Okay, so they have a this right here, they have a strike fault, and then they have a little display that tells you what a strike fault is. And again, so if you're you bringing your middle schooler, your high schooler out here, make it an educational trip as well as fun. Absolutely amazing. Here's some petrified wood, and again, a lot of these samples don't come from this mine. They just brought it in here as an article of interest. Here's beautiful silicified wood, kind of a petrified wood, silicified wood. Get into some ammonites. Just absolutely incredible. Some spinel. We got a beautiful example of malachite here. You start getting this, green malachite there. Absolutely beautiful. Topaz. So one of the things, it's actually hard to find information about some of these smaller points of interest here in northern Japan. A lot of the world has gone to online only. And so if you search for online, you can find this place. It's not hidden. Amazonite. Okay, some garnet. So you can find this place online, but it doesn't have a lot of information about what you can find here. Here's some obsidian, okay, some jasper. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just kind of show you what is in some of these places, because a lot of these out of the way points of interest in Japan they don't have a lot of information online. You can find the address, you know it's here, but they don't have a lot of information about what is here. So that's what I'm trying to do here, just show you what's here. So if you do eventually make a tour up here to northern Japan, you can, here's some jade, beautiful nephrite jade, sorry, I'm Work my phone here. There we go. And then of course some standard jade. So that's what I'm trying to do here, just show you what's here. Okay. Amethyst, beautiful amethyst geode type samples. Just keep moving on here. A couple of the samples are actually from the US back there, some of the fossilized samples. I thought that was pretty cool. Sodalite. Huge, huge amethyst geode here. Absolutely gorgeous. 800 kilograms. I wonder how many guys it took to load that in here. Just kidding. Obviously, nobody would be able to do it. Little selection, little ruby. Example of some rubies. Corundum, kimberlite, diamond example. A little collection of diamond samples. Tellurium, some native gold, emerald. Some beryl, aquamarine, absolutely gorgeous. All right, so we are back at the beginning. I hope you've enjoyed this quick. It's a quick walkthrough of this mine here in Iwate, Japan. I'll go ahead and sign off here as I come back out, but hope you enjoyed it, and I will put some more of these type of videos up as we visit around. Again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.